Hey, Pretty Girl Club. So I'm going to start reacting to TikToks and stuff like that. So if you see any TikToks or social media content where they're speaking on exoticals or talking about anything that has to do with us, please email me at exoticalsunited@gmail.com. You guys have already been doing that. And I'm going to play this little TikTok for you so that you know what I'm talking about. So she's saying that there is a certain beauty standard at HBCUs that she cannot meet naturally. So, on the one hand, you've got women coming onto my channel saying, oh, well, unambiguous Black women, we are the standard. We're the blueprint. People want to copy our skin tone. They want to copy our lips. They want to copy our body type. And it's like, okay, if that's the case and you are the beauty standard, you shouldn't have a problem with the exoticals because you would be able to relate to us, right? You would be just like the white women or the Indian women or the non-Black women who can relate to the experience of being a beauty standard. But then on the other hand, you've got women coming online saying that they do not meet the HBCU beauty standard. And I find that interesting that she's specifically tying it to HBCUs and talking about how she doesn't meet it. So my thing that I've noticed is there will be a lot of unambiguous women who will come online talking about how they don't feel pretty. And it's like, okay, even if you don't meet the beauty standard, what do you want us to do about this? Like, what do you want us to do? Do you want us to compliment you? Do you want people to give you pity dates? This is why I feel like a lot of people, they're just coming online as a way to fish for compliments or fish for sympathy, very similar to incels online. And I'm not saying that this woman is automatically a femcel, but it really does remind me of kind of like this femcel type of content where it's like, nobody wants me. I'm going to announce how much no one wants me, how much I hate myself. And I've noticed when it comes to HBCUs in particular, people love accusing HBCUs of automatically being colorist, texturist, and featurist. I actually attended an HBCU, and I can tell you that there were definitely dark skinned, unambiguous women. And there were also big women as well who got attention, who had pretty privilege. So I find it interesting that instead of working on your own self esteem and confidence, people just want to come online and talk about how much it sucks. Or sometimes they will even use this resentment against the woman that they do feel meets that beauty standard. And I also find it interesting how she mentioned like classism and elitism. So this person says exactly why I went to PWIs to focus on my education. So that's fine if you want to focus on your education, but I guess my question is, what is it about an HBCU that makes you not focus on your education? Could it be the black male gaze that gets you distracted from your education versus going to a white school? Like, why is it that a white school is automatically going to be a better environment for an unambiguous Black woman? It kind of depends on what your goals are. So I've noticed that some unambiguous women have different social climbing goals. So if your goal is just to get an education, you don't even have to go to any university in person. You really could just go online. This person says, no, literally, I felt this at the HBCU I go to. People single you out because you don't look like them. I've learned not to care anymore. So, people singling you out because you don't look like them, this is something that happens to everyone. This happens to mixed women. This happens to skinny women, fat women, tall, short. Anybody could be singled out for not looking like others. This person says, I was trying to explain to someone that that's why a lot of people don't enjoy college. It isn't what you make it, it's what the school makes it. So she's blaming her HBCU for her having a bad experience. And I can tell you, I actually still greatly enjoyed my time at my HBCU. And I don't regret it. That was my dream school. I still stand by that 10 toes down. So I actually do still think that life is what you make it. Your experience is what you make it. If your social life sucks, your social skills probably suck, or you're probably not even trying to make friends, or you're not trying to talk to anyone. But I've just noticed that sometimes with unambiguous women, they've had a tendency to blame their environment or to blame colorism, texturism, featurism, elitism, classism, or whatever all the isms are for their own personal failures. And it's like, no, there are plenty of unambiguous women who are living it up right now, and they're living their best lives, and they're not online being victims. This person says, this is so true, but you got to make your own standard. You look good regardless, okay? I felt the same way in college too. So happy to graduate. Exactly. You create your own beauty standard. You create your own standard for what the soft life is. You get to create your own standards for success. So I've noticed, once again, this external locus of control. So we talk about this a lot on this channel, especially when it comes to beauty standards. A lot of women with inferiority complexes, they have this external focus. What does she have? Does she think she's prettier than me? Does she think she's better than me? She got 10 likes on social media. I only got 5 likes. Do more guys like her? Are more people paying attention to her? Why do all the guys like this type of girl? So it's this external focus, and you're not able to like level up within yourself because you're too busy focusing on how much more leveled up somebody else is. Someone says, shout out to my PWI. I wore nothing but Nike shorts and Crocs, and if I was really not giving an F, I wore a bonnet to class. So I have no problem with PWIs, obviously. I wasn't raised in a predominantly African American community, but I don't think that just going to the white community is going to solve their problems. So just telling unambiguous Black women, oh, just go to the white community, just divest, just get away from Black people, just go chase after the white community at every chance you get, then all your problems will be solved. No, I don't necessarily think that's the solution, because the question that I have for women like this is, what is your goal? Like, what was your goal with posting content like this? Oh, I don't meet the beauty standard. What were you trying to gain from posting this? Anytime women come online and make videos saying, I hate my 4C hair, I hate my skin tone, what are you attempting to gain from that? Because I tell you guys all the time, usually the ism conversation is not about social justice, it's about social status. This person says, this has nothing to do with them, baby. Work on your self-worth. This is a you thing. And I say that with love. I've been there. So notice how there's actually what looks like an exotical in the comment section telling her that she needs to work on her self-worth. And you know how people will try to use that talking point of self-esteem is not built in a vacuum. So I do agree that there is, you should have micro validation. You should have other people kind of encouraging you and stuff. But I think that micro validation, it's supposed to complement the self-esteem that was already there. And also I find it interesting how this girl is kind of complaining about the beauty standards. So she's not even listening to the other unambiguous women who tell you to go where you're celebrated. So if you don't feel like you are celebrated at an HBCU and you really have a desire to be celebrated, then that's fine. Then sure, if you feel like you're more celebrated somewhere else. But I feel like some women, they're too prideful to admit to themselves, hey, I want my beauty to be celebrated. I want to be put on a pedestal. I want to be the pretty girl. Some women are too prideful to admit that, so they'll try to pretend, I don't care about being celebrated. I don't care about being beautiful. Looks aren't everything. I don't care about validation. I don't care about being popular. But then they'll go to these scenarios and they'll stay in these scenarios that aren't beneficial for them. And instead of simply taking the L and admitting to themselves that they messed up and that they sucked at social climbing, instead of admitting that to themselves, they would rather blame the entire infrastructure or blame the entire environment that they're around. And do you guys remember when I did that video about the exotical who joined Delta Sigma Theta sorority? And then people were telling that girl, well, you should have done your research before you joined the organization. You said that you were a Christian and you were mad that the organization didn't line up with your viewpoints. Why didn't you research the sorority before you joined it? Can't I give the same talking point to this Black girl here? Why didn't you research HBCUs before you went to them? Why didn't you study and see what the social life would be like before you decided to make that social climbing decision? So there's this culture of being able to dish it out. You can dish it out against exoticals, but then you can't take it back. So whenever I use the same exact talking point against you, then suddenly I'm somehow being anti-Black. Even though according to the Black community, I would be one dropped into Blackness myself. But I'm going to do a whole entire follow-up video to this. So I just wanted to make this video really quick so we could get into a psychoanalysis of HBCUs, HBCU culture, and HBCU beauty standards. But what do you ladies think? Let me know in the comment section and I'll talk to you next time. Stay pretty, ladies.